Hello there folks, this is RGB for RGB TV. Today we continue with Minchul, also known as Gensei Park, against 458, the Protoss Gosu that everybody wants to defeat. We got him here on the orange Protoss on the middle right of the map. And he is up against, as I said before, Minchul again, playing on the brown Zerg. So it is a rematch. He wants to prove to everyone, yes, I can. And I think he can do it. I think he can do it as long as he doesn't miss that one single drop, which is proven in the previous game against 458. That is kind of pretty damn difficult to do because the guy has tricky setups. Very, very tricky setups. And he's fast. His multitasking is off the charts. It is, I wouldn't say as good as brains, but orderly but good. This guy's got great attacks, great setups, great planning. This guy knows how to exploit your weaknesses as a Zerg player. Minchul, on the other hand, is so damn talented that he might just find a way to deal with all of the attacks that 458 is going to throw at him and give him a run for his money. Although I might be speaking a little bit too soon. I might be speaking a little bit too soon because this is a double hatchery against a 2 gateway rush from 458. Now 458, I believe, is going to do double gateway, 2 zealots into a nexus in the back. I'm not quite sure. He might do something else. He might do something else. Not quite sure, but just gotta throw out a prediction. Do note how 458 is doing full-on base scouts. And he finds the creep, so he's not gonna get tricked. Or is he? Did he get tricked? Did he not notice? Was he not look? Oh, he turns around. He noticed. He noticed the creep. Sometimes players don't notice because it can be a little bit hard to see in a minimap that there is creep on the minimap. So you'd have, sometimes you actually have to be looking at the probe, finding the corner to see the creep. So he went for a double hatchery, pool, and a creep colony. Because he knows that there's a high chance he's going to get rushed. I mean, usually 458 doesn't rush, but he's rushing this time around. Hasn't built that nexus there in the back yet. He's kind of focused on messing about with the probe. It is delaying his nexus, but he really just wants to be annoying. Nexus now officially on the way to back at home. Let's do this back and forth thing with the mouse keys. Back and forth. So the Zealot arrives. The Sunken finishes on time. Hatch number 4 is on the way. One probe on drone dies. We have a second Zealot there arriving. Drone gets out of the stack. He's attacking the Zealot. Okay, so we get 2 drone kills in total. Zerglings have spawned. We've got the Zealots there on the middle. I think the probe died as well. So 2 Zealots down in exchange for 2 or 3 drones in total and a lost probe. I mean, it's worth it at this point in the game. Just killing any drone at all is kind of worth it. As a Protoss, you simply have more income in the first 10 minutes than the Zerg does. So it's worth losing 2 Zealots to kill a couple of drones. It hurts the Zerg more than it hurts you. Because you don't care about those Zealots. You care about the economy. It's the only thing you care about. So the Zealot there did their job. Zerglings on the middle. It's kind of sometimes it's a little bit difficult to say Zerglings and Zealots because both of them start with a Z and an E. And then you're trying to pronounce them and you just completely fumble the pronunciation of either of the two. And you say Zealot when you try to say Zergling, but then you say Zergling when you try to say Zealot. It's just too many units starting with a Z. And they're both on the map at the same time. So more Zealots have spawned. Zerglings might try to go in, might try to just track the Zealots to see where they're going. Got the overlap there in the middle as well, giving and providing vision. He added on 2 more hatcheries. It's going to be 6 of them in total. Now adding on some more creep colonies and a Hydralisk den. Zerglings are spawning, going to try to defend. The amount of Zerglings might not be enough, but as long as he can make it difficult for the Zealots to get on top of the Sunken, he should be able to defend. Although those Zerglings do die pretty damn quick, but more Zerglings coming from behind. Getting a good flank on those Zealots. Zealots are attacking the Sunkens there though. Sunken number 1 is going to go down. Sunken number 2 might stay alive as the Zerglings are hammering away on those Zealots. And I do think that this time around, this attack from 458 might not have been entirely worth it. Killing a Sunken, getting a couple Zerglings, in exchange for, I think, about 10 Zealots. It's a pretty big investment. And the amount of money Minchul lost on the attack is probably less than the attack itself costed. And that gets a pretty good catch on reinforcing Zealots on the middle. So those Zerglings getting a lot of kills, a lot of progress. He's killing a lot of stuff, getting a lot of return on his investment. That's what I meant to say. The investment on those Zerglings, probably around 600 minerals, maybe a little bit more. But he killed about, I think, 1400 minerals, so that's worth it. That's definitely worth it. The Ladder on the way, Hydra speed, and level 1 attack for the Hydras. So there's going to be pretty strong Hydralisks and 31 drones. Still only one Sunken there in the back. 458 here though, it's on 33 probes. The difference in workers is not that great. And 458's build order, I'm not sure I like it. And this is kind of starting to look like a normal Zerg against Protoss on the normal maps. You know, where the Zerg goes for Hydralisks, goes across the map and starts attacking the choke of the Protoss. And the Protoss has to really make cannons really quick to try and not die against the Hydralisk frontal bust attack. You'll see it happens on the second base. Here we don't have second bases, so it's happening on the choke of the main base. Killed the gateways. Don't really think he can go in. He can try, but the cannons are finishing in the back. As one backup pylon behind those cannons, just in case the pylon in the front goes down. Setting in a couple of Zerglings to get some information to see what's there. Too many cannons to go in on, that's for sure. One Corsair there in Minchul's base, gathering information, maybe attack some Overlords. But he's returning back home, so that was mostly just information gathering right there. Mostly just information gathering. Finds another Overlord there on the side. But once again, Hydralisks are pretty close by, so I'm not going to commit to killing the Overlord. He might kill this one there though. Hydralisk still in the chase, still looking for it. One Overlord there on the top corner. Oh, this is interesting. Minchul might lose his Overlord on the top corner. Hydralisks are too far away. It's going to make it a little bit... Well, it's not going to make it difficult for Minchul to dodge storms, because he's got vision on this gas here, and he's got vision on this gas if he moves that Zergling just a little tiny bit. Hydra's coming in to kill the Corsair. Corsair killed the Overlord, Corsair goes down as well. Two Reavers finish up there in the front for 458. More gateways being built and thrown down. He's got Singularity Charge on the way. Level 1 attack for the Zealots, shuttle speed as well. And shuttles are finishing up right here as we speak. But Minchul, now in 45 drones, split up a lot of units all over the map, including Overlords or Zerglings that you had from earlier, providing vision, and we've got the Overlords adding more vision on top of that. A couple of Scourges there hunting for the Corsair or hunting for the shuttle. He's trying to catch it. This is kind of fun. A lot of small micro things happening on the map while both players are building up, growing bigger, growing stronger. I think those small details, you're seeing those small 2 units together, maybe 12 units together, moving over the map, across the map, trying to achieve something. I think those small details, those extra little things they do, I think those are the things that really set a player apart from the rest. Finds the shuttle, but the real shuttle that he should have been looking for is already on the way. Isn't going through the middle of those. He's going to get spotted out by those Zerglings, and there are a lot of Hydralisks here in between the shuttle and the minerals, so I don't think he's going to really do much right there. We've got the Zealots there coming out from 458 base. Reavers are unloading behind the Zealots. Going to get some pretty good... Now he gets some decent shots off. He's going to try to clear out most of the Hydralisks. He killed a couple of them. Shuttle goes in. Shuttle is flying around. Hydralisk moving in between. Scourges are going to intercept, and he kills it before the Reaver unloads. Nicely done. Corsair on the top side there goes down. So let's talk about upgrades. Level 1 attack there finished up for Minchul. He's getting Queen and Snare to slow down those shuttle drops. Level 1 Carapace on the way. Level 2 attack on the way. It's getting a hive now as well for 9:40 into the game. Got a total of 7 hatchers on the top, 3 on the bottom, so 10 in total. Scorch is once again hunting for shuttles. Kills a Corsair instead. 2 more robots on the way. Looks like 458's build order isn't really one that can put that much pressure on a Zerg. It just doesn't seem like Minchul is having that much trouble. He's not really experiencing much pressure. And sometimes that just happens. Sometimes things just don't exactly go as you had in mind. I'm sure 458 had a much more aggressive gameplay in mind, a much more aggressive plan. With those 2 gateways in the front, going for a Zealot rush, nothing quite worked out, and now Minchul is growing bigger at a scary pace. This is looking really scary. This is looking really scary, and Minchul is perhaps one of the few players who, when they're on Zerg, you do not want them to grow comfortably. Because look at all the vision he has got on the map. Scourges are constantly hunting for shuttles. You also got an overlord dropper coming over the bottom side, but there are a lot of cannons there in between. Goes for... He's gonna try to go for the probes, but no, that's a lot of lurkers. Running to safety, kills 12. Probes killed 1 group. Getting a couple of probes on the gas, but 60 probes are still left alive. He's got triple nexus, so he should be able to rebuild those probes pretty quickly. So nothing for him to worry about, but of course it does hurt a little bit. Getting slowed down even just a little bit at this point in the game is just something you don't want to happen when you're a Protoss, because the Zerg is a ticking time bomb that at some point is going to have production ability. Wait, he had another Overlord? Oh my god. Oh my god, I missed that one. Let me just rewind a little bit and see if I can spot. Okay, so he unloaded another lurker. I was a little bit too late, but he went down from 60 to 36. So he kept 1 Overlord completely filled up and sent it in, unloaded it when 458 felt safe. And because there were no cannons on the top side here, they're now finishing up, but there were no cannons here earlier, the lurker could just free fire on the probes. And now the game is really, really difficult for 458. The tables have turned, and Minchul has managed to do so by being given a lot of breathing room and by basically just always hunting down those shuttles with Corsairs. Scorches. The Scorches have been doing an amazing job of providing control over the map, and 458 just isn't really allowed to do much. And that is, I think, entirely because I'm a firm believer that if a Zerg goes for a non-choke build order, that as a response to that, as a Protoss, you have to go for mass gateway units. You have to do it. Because the Zerg, if you don't go for mass gateway units, the Zerg is just going to comfortably build up, get some anti-drop, and snipe the shuttles out of the air, and grow big and rich. At this level of play, your shuttles are not going to just fly in and sneak through. You have to put real pressure on the Zerg, and that's very easy to do with Mass Gateway Army, because there's no choke that is blocking you from entering the base. So you can use your Mass Gateway Army to the fullest of its effectiveness by the virtue of there being no choke that's blocking you. It's very difficult for the Zerg to defend. You want the Zerg to spend all their money, all their larvae on Hydralisks and Sunkens, not on drones that are mining minerals, which is happening right here, right now. Minchul is really big, really rich, and it happened really fast. It happened really fast. We're 14 minutes in, almost 14 minutes in, maxed out on supply, 93 drones, got every single tech structure that he needs and wants, got queens in the air, got vision all over the map, got some zealots there moving out to catch those Hydralisks, because the Hydralisks have been making it impossible for 458 to send out shuttle drops. And that is why I don't like shuttle drops, because shuttle drops is basically gambling. You're investing a lot of gas and minerals into a shuttle drop, your opponent can see the shuttle drop, he can respond. And if you don't hit, it's a wasted amount of minerals. It's waste of time. So I really prefer 458's usual gameplay of mass gateway units against Zerg with mixed in shuttle drops, not just shuttle drops like this. It's vision everywhere. How are you ever going to get those shuttles onto the minerals? Hydralisks are moving to intercept, getting blocked a little bit there though. And as I spoke about shuttles never making their way through, the shuttle makes its way through, but this time around it's only Zealots unloading, no Templars arriving on the scene, minerals are safe and sound, no harm is done to Minchul's economy. A couple more Corsairs are on the side killing stuff, got a small little mass attack here, well, a ragtag group of Dragoons killing those spores in the front. 458 has recovered his economy. He has officially recovered his economy. He put 5 Templars in the back just to make sure that whenever something drops on the minerals, it will get stormed to death. Just losing those probes, getting down to 36, it just really completely ruined the chances 458 had at winning the game. And Minchul knows because he's already moving out, going for an attack. Splitting up there though, because he knows there's Reavers behind the cannons. Which means, of course, you cannot just send in those Hydralisks single file. Sending in the Scourges to take down the shuttle. Or maybe the Corsairs instead. Puts the Parasite onto the Scourges, the Corsairs, so we can see them. More Scourges coming down. He's just continuously... It's basically just Corsairs that can Scourges the game. So finally, both players are having a face-off on the middle. A couple of units are being picked up. What's he going to do with those units in the Overlords? He's going to unload them behind. He's going to put them on top of the hill. Of course, it's hills with Hydralisks. Oh my god. It's going to be useful though. They don't have that much range on them. It's really shoot down from the hill, so they're kind of stuck on there doing nothing. The other hilltop there though has just enough range to fire on the pylon. The Reavers cannot shoot up onto the high ground. The Reavers on the mill here defended against a large Hydralisk army without much trouble whatsoever, putting some Parasites onto High Templars and Reavers. He's got vision, clears out the hill. Got more Overlords with units inside, moving across the map. They're empty. They are completely empty. I thought there was something in there, but it appears there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. The upgrades currently at the moment though are 2-1 for air, is ground Oz on 2. I can't see the other upgrade, maybe here. 2-3 already. 480 is on 102. Pretty much because he kept losing his probes, and then of course does slow you down. Got a big group of Mutalisks here on the bottom side. Overlords coming in from the top side. Gonna try to distract and pull units away from the Mutas, but 408 not falling for this trick. Gonna storm on. Oh, he storms. He almost stormed. Did you see the placement of that storm? It was right next to his own probes. Right next to it. Kills all the Mutalisks with just like 1 or 2 storms. And doesn't hit his own probes. That was risky. That could have gone very wrong if he just slightly misplaced it. That was tight. That was tight. So a mass Reaver drop there coming out from 458. Minchul currently has units on the way, but not yet finished up. Is this just gonna... Is this gonna do it? Is this gonna be it? Is this gonna win the game for 458? Unloads there on top of the Sunkens. The Lurkers are too far away. Storms on the Mutalisks. And it turns out that I feared this is gonna end badly. For no reason whatsoever, because Minchul handles it perfectly fine. The Mutalisks spawn, Sunkens hit the Reavers. There wasn't really any good spot for the Reavers to unload, maybe here in the bottom corner, but 458 doesn't know where the Lurkers are. He just by pure chance unloaded where there were no Lurkers. By pure chance. Could have unloaded here, but he didn't know that there's no Lurkers here. He's kind of assuming there's Lurkers everywhere. All I want to do is hit the drones and slow down Minchul's economy and go for a mass attack, because I just built a lot of gateways in my base with which I want to attack. Like this. Zealots are going in for the attack. We've got Devourers on the map there, ready to go. Got Guardians coming in from behind. So first the Devourers are gonna kill the Corsairs, and then we've got the Guardians coming in from the bottom side to break through and start killing structures. And why does he have so many shuttles? Why does this man have so many shuttles? This is 7. Oh, he's got 17 shuttles. 18 shuttles. 19 shuttles. He's got no units at all. He's flying across the map. These are in fact empty. He just wants to sacrifice. He just wants to pull those Devourers home. It's actually pretty smart. Pull the Devourers away so that the Corsairs at home can maybe have a chance at defending. This is just a waste of supply. 458. What are you? This game from 458, I just don't know what the hell is happening. I just don't know what his plan was. I mean, I don't think 458 has actually done that much harm. I mean, sometimes things just go completely wrong. When you lose your probes, you cannot do much. I'll give him that, but 458 just had the weakest showing I've ever seen him have in my life. This is the weakest 458 I've seen in my life. He's doing a great job here though, killing the Guardians by pulling the Devourers away with the shuttles. It was a pretty smart move. But how many shuttles do you have? You cannot really even make a big army. You got Dragoons spawning. Got Corsairs attacking the Devourers. Got Hydralisks coming from over the ground. Got more Guardians flying over from across the map. Guardians going for the flank attack. They're on the Dragoons. They're in the front. Corsairs are getting debuffed. Corsairs getting killed because the Corsairs simply don't really have that great upgrades. 1-1-1 against maxed out air units, maxed out ground units. The Dragoons are on 2-1-3, not looking great. 458 just got... He just got shown... I can't really describe it that well. I'm at a loss for words. Minchul just had the easiest game of his life, it appears. Like, wow. Minchul played great. This was awesome from Minchul, but it looked like it was the easiest game of his life. 458 did not put up much of a fight. Losing his minerals. Always losing his Corsairs. Always losing his shuttles to Corsairs and Scorches, whatever you can find. Nothing ever worked. Nothing ever worked. And Minchul just kind of rolled him over, and 458 obeyed and rolled over. Very weird game, but Minchul, wow. Wow. Even Owen Wilson is impressed. Wow. Absolutely wow. I'm a little bit disappointed in 458 for not putting up much of a fight, but Minchul earned this one. Really, really loud and clear. This was me, RGB for RGB TV. I hope to be bringing you game number 3, maybe 4 and 5 tomorrow. Depends on how long those games are. This game was 22 minutes, a little bit longer. Maybe a little bit too long for adding a 3rd game or 4th game. But I kind of enjoyed this game, but just not much was happening. And when not much happens, it's kind of hard to talk about the game as if something is happening. So anyway, it was RGB for RGB TV. See you next time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, a comment, and a subscribe. Whatever you want to do, you do it. Or you don't do it. That's up to you.